Welcome back to the River Bottom Cattle Ranch. I'm BP, and after many years away, we've returned to reclaim our old farm and build the cattle ranch of our dreams. The morning of January 1st, guys, we got all the way through September, and it was all the way through December. It was a very, very busy month. We have some changes here to the pasture system. Farmer Flage came back out. We did some rearranging and getting some stuff where we need it long term. So we still have our 3 pens in the truck today. It's pretty cold out, so wanted to have the heated seat. Have our ground beef over here. Those are the ones we take to and from the butcher. This is our bullpen. We do need to do the transfer this morning for all of our animals that are pregnant. But in the background there, guys, we have a barn, and that is such good news. So let's get these animals transferred from the bullpen to the breeding pen. All right, and we want any animal that is pregnant is going to be brought over there. So we have a whole bunch, guys. Let's see how many that is. Select all, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's going to be 29, 35, and 38. 38 new animals pregnant this month. That is absolutely fantastic news. We'll get these ladies over into their pen. Now, let's talk a little bit about this barn situation. Let me get the gate closed here, and I will. Got a cow laying in the way. Sorry, didn't mean to be in your way there, lady. The barn situation is absolutely fantastic. So, I'm gonna pull up over here, and I want to show you guys. We installed a transfer gate for the barn pasture, and that's going to allow us to move the animals from the bred pasture. So all of these animals are the ones that are pregnant. They will come into the barn as needed to get milked when they are ready, and we can put that on a schedule. Right now, it looks like it's going to be, we have the option 4:30 to 5:30 a.m. and p.m., 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. to p.m., and 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. and p.m. I think we're going to leave it at right in the middle, 5:30 to 6:30, and go from there and hit the schedule milking. We need to select all of the animals and schedule for milking. They are all scheduled. Now, the key to the new system with the gates, guys, the gate has to be left open for the cows to go back and forth, and they will go back and forth automatically. So those pastures are all the same. Let's head over and take a look at the barn as well, and some of the future growth that we have in the layout. Gotta be a little careful, not worth hitting a cow with the truck. Not good for the truck or good for the cow, for that matter. So we're swinging through here, and nice and easy. Did have a touch of snow this morning. On the right, you'll see we have an overflow pen. Farmer Flage was out. We were adjusting the pens, and I said, you know what? I'm getting a little full. You know, what do you think about an overflow pen? And so when we laid out the barn, he said, you got some space over there. Why don't we put one there? So this is just a catch-all pen if we need it. Maybe we need it for some rotational grazing. Maybe we need it for our ground beef. Who knows? But this pen goes all the way up to the road along the river. Not a particularly wide pen at this end, and then widens back out and is over here. Doesn't connect to anything yet. Could be doing some pasture work down there in the future. Not sure. But the barn, all set here. This guy is going to be great. Has water, has slurry, has manure, has everything. I got some straw put in when we got the barn put in. There is no food in there yet because the cows are not lactating, so they won't be coming to the barn to get milked. But the milk will be stored over here. And then I built this yard area and we gravelled it in with the intention of putting a shed back here so we could have additional storage for vehicles, maybe vehicles that were specific to the cattle work, the trailer, the water truck, which you saw parked underneath the awning over there on the side of the barn, but just an area in the future to put a shed up and get some more stuff. Maybe we'll have a milk tanker here. In putting these pastures in and getting everything done, I did decide to give us access to the road instead of driving all the way through the pastures over there and then looping backwards and heading back towards the silos down by that tree line way off there in the distance and then back up. We are now connected up here to the road so our trucks can come and go this way without having to backtrack. Not a huge deal, but you know, saves us 2 to 4 minutes of driving a day per trip. And you know, that'll add up. There is definitely a lot of driving to be done. So that is the big yard update. And guys, I am excited. Look at that setup. We have our overflow pasture on the left. We have our 3 standard regular pastures that we've had here on the right, and then the barn sort of offset there to the middle left where we can milk the cows and increase the capacity of our holdings there. So we are really, truly in very, very good shape. Now, being in January and being in Missouri, there's not a whole lot to do. Was hoping to potentially, you know, do some grass work today, more specifically start plowing, which we certainly could. We're going to need some money. Putting that barn in was a significant expense. I think this expansion with the barn, the overflow pen, rerouting some stuff was about $500,000. So our loan is, you know, I can actually pull up on my phone here real quick and show it to you guys. Give me 1 sec. So as you guys can see, we have $900,000 out on our line of credit. That extra $500,000 for the barn and this project, I think, was a good investment for the size project we're trying to do here, for the size cattle ranch we are attempting to grow. Does mean we have some pretty hefty payments coming our way and need to make some money. Not to mention the fact that we definitely still need some more equipment. So I think today, being that we are sort of at the mercy of the winter weather, and like I said, we had snow this morning, I think we will just work on cattle shifting, getting the ground beef to the butcher, and you know, continuing that way. Our silage is fermented and ready to go. I would love to work on buying a plow to plow up that big grass field so we can get grass planted there. I was thinking with our grazing pastures that we really don't need that much TMR. You know, it's really just for when they're in the barn. And, you know, maybe instead of making that whole field that we mowed and then did half grass for silage and half hay, maybe we only plant half of it in grass and the other half could be go back to corn, go back to soybeans, go back to any number of things. We could just wait and see. So let's go ahead and get this turned off, hop on out and head over. But we need money to do that. With only $54,000 in the bank, we do not have a lot of cash on hand. We most certainly need to make some money today. So with that in mind, let's get into some cattle hauling here. We'll get the ground beef picked up and taken over and see if that will make us any money today. Get the truck, let it warm up for just a second. And this is the corner that is always, you know, I didn't check the lines. Yep, everything is connected. This is the corner that is always a bit interesting. Getting this swung around. May someday change our setup, but for right now, we are going to leave it just like this. So let's get the truck pulled through the gate. Yeah, I think we are going to be. Rubbing is racing, as they say, which is not the way to get your trailer through the gate. So let's see about getting swung over just a little bit. and pull this guy nice and tight off to this side. There we go. I think that's going to be better. All right, so let's see. Should we go get the trailer open? Probably. There we go. Had a little incident with that gate trying to close on the trailer. I had to jump in front of it and stop it from getting the sides of the trailer. So trailer is open. Head on back. Let's see how many animals. We were in 2-day months for the beginning of the season, and now that we're in winter, it just doesn't make sense to do that. So let's go filter here. Anyone that is 12 months or older, that's what we're looking for. Select all. 56 animals. We are not going to get all of those into the trailer. 26, we're going to have a couple of trips here. So let's draw out, get that gate closed up. And, yep, you can see we are all loaded up here. Love this trailer. Rear load, side load. We get the animals in. It does not matter how we do it, just as long as they get in there. So with that in mind, let's head on out. Excuse me, pardon me, ladies. Got one right in the middle of the road here. Oh, she's going to be a bit obnoxious. We'll go around her. All right. Yeah, they don't learn. We're going to take the new road out. I'm excited for this. So this was, instead of looping back around and heading back through, this is, you know, what we've been doing here. And I think this is going to be a better plan, getting us out to where we need to be and over to the shop, the butcher, everything. Just going to save us miles and minutes, all of which are valuable to us. So let's head on down. Let's get this stuff into the butcher. Once we get it into the butcher, I think we head back to the animal dealer, see about picking up some more good quality animals, as well as potentially some animals that go in the ground beef pen. We do have, well, we could take as many as 3 trips today from the ground beef pen to the butcher. Now we have 56 animals eligible to go to the butcher. We have 26 animal capacity on the trailer. So the last trip would be, what, 4 animals? That probably doesn't seem worth it. We'll just bring them out with us tomorrow and go from there. We could, and it may be a good idea, since we haven't been up to the animal dealer in a couple of weeks, you know, getting that big overhaul project done and getting through the balance of December really ate up a bunch of time. So what we could do is go to the animal dealer, see if they've got any animals lingering around and that are eligible to go straight to the butcher. You know, sometimes they bring stuff in for auction. Farmers aren't interested because the you know, the quality isn't there, the breeding quality isn't there, so they, you know, they tend to sit. Oh, we got aggressive on the corner, guys. Oh, we saved it. Oh boy. All right, talking too much, not paying enough. Got a little bit of pounded beef back there, I guess. We are truly going with burgers. Maybe smash burgers is a better way to describe it. Luckily, we didn't end up on our side. The trailer pushed the living daylights out of the truck there. Could have been less exciting, and that would have been good as well. So we'll make sure we're slowing down for the corners up here. Do not want a repeat of that scenario again. Glad it wasn't snowy. Could have ended up in the ditch and really gotten ourselves into a pickle there. So up to the butcher, we are almost there. I think it is then going to be worth running to the animal dealer, taking a load direct from the animal dealer to the butcher. Really need to get that bank account up and padded a little bit so we can start buying more equipment. I'm thinking, as we discussed previously, wheel loader for feeding the animals, moving food, that kind of stuff, potentially even moving bales. So that's going to be a $100,000+ purchase. We need to get a big plow to get some work. Technically, we could, you know, lease one. I don't know that I want to lease one, but we certainly could. I feel like we're going to need to plow enough to begin with anyways. I mean, I guess, is that a fair statement? If we're doing a lot of grass work, we probably won't be plowing, because grass, you know, you plant once and take care of and you're good to go. Our other fields, currently the one we have that is wheat, or did we replant that one in barley? I'd have to look back and remember, guys. It's a cereal crop regardless for the straw. Will only need to be plowed every couple of years, so maybe leasing a plow is the smarter option. So, jumping over to the animal dealer here. And, man, look at that morning sun. There's some glare coming in off of the sky. And here we are. Now, let's go in and take a look at our animals here. They have to be 12 months old. Don't really want them older than 50 months. I definitely don't want any pregnant animals. And all I really care about is that their value is under $800. So we select all. That's only 19. It's 12 grand worth of animals. So that's what they had laying around at the dealership. The ones that didn't sell may have been mismatched lots, may come in from different feed yards. Could have come in from different farms. Could have just been that farmers didn't want that many cows. But you know, these animals are of age and are not desirable for other people, so we are going to do our transport run back down to the butcher, and that'll put another 19 animals in there. So we got 26 in from our pasture, which would be 20 and 25 on the easy math, 45 animals to the butcher so far, another 26 coming, which will put us at 71 for the day. That will certainly put some money in the bank as that meat gets processed and sold. So we will see how all of that works out. Last trip from the animal dealer here. And we will select all, move all 19. Yes, nice and easy. Now let's run back to the animal dealer, sort of doing a full morning rotation with you guys. We won't do the multiple trips to and from the farm, but you know, this is what it takes to be a big-time cattle rancher. Gotta move animals, gotta get animals to the point where they're selling and making us money. We are slowly building our high-quality herd while we, you know, try to make money every month on, you know, fattening some animals, flipping some animals, just trying to get ahead a little bit. And we have that huge $900,000 loan in infrastructure. Don't forget, we still have 50 grand we owe on the house and another 75 grand. Still, the lawyers are still working on it for the shed. So have to get all that figured out as well. Now, for animals that we want in our herd, they can be, you know, I mean, technically we don't want them at 0 months. It's a little cold. We'll go with 6 months. Do not want them older than 26 months. 26 months means if we got them pregnant right away, getting 2 full pregnancies out of them would take them to like 46 to 50 months, depending on the timing. And animals over 50 months are just not ideal for us. So we select that. We get their genetics up to high. This is what we tell the guys we're looking for. So they go back and drag out all the stock that meets our requirements. And we confirm here, and there are 3 animals today that meet our requirements for age and quality. Not a big day at the animal dealer, but that is okay. So I'm going to head on back with these guys. I will make the other trip back up here to the butcher and get the rest of our ground beef. Well, we have 29-ish animals, I think it is, or maybe even 30 left in the pen and only 26 spots. So I will take one more trip of our ground beef, our low quality animals, up to the butcher and get those done. And then, you know, maybe it's time to see if we have any afternoon projects, if we get some new equipment, if there's anything worth doing. Really, I would love to start doing some field work and getting that big meadow torn up. And I've been debating whether I want to divide it, you know, lengthwise down the field. So the fields are front to back as you're coming out of the back of the house, or if I want to go, You know, one up by the yard, which would be grass, and then the one further away would be a crop of some sort. I'm thinking maybe that sort of side by side instead of stacked would be a better option. That way, if we have any overflow or issues coming out of the yard, moving equipment around, we have a nice grass field to pull out on and get the equipment situated on. We're not worried about pulling into a crop field, or obviously we would damage our crop driving on the grass for a couple of minutes here and there every couple days is not going to hurt the grass. It'll bounce right back, particularly if it's not too muddy. So either way, need to figure that out and need a plow to do it. So it is time to, as usual, buy more equipment for the cattle ranch. Just keeping you guys with me for another minute so you can see the new entrance exit to the ranch right here over the drainage gully. This is, instead of going all the way down, we are going to turn in here. Now on the way back, it doesn't save us a ton of time. I guess technically we can cut through the pastures the other way. I guess it does maybe save us a little bit of time. So, but we're sort of going to that far corner regardless. Not sure it's going to make a big difference, but I guess what it is going to do is it's going to put us in the breeding pen first to unload the good quality animals, and then the ground beef pen so we don't have to back up. So that is a positive. Ladies. There we go. Alrighty. And I will get all these animals swapped out and be back with you guys for the next project.
Cool dew glistens on the grass. Time to head home, home at last. Leaving Sunshine Forest, our work here is done. The dusty road calls my name. Homeward bound, let's chase the sun. Missouri's where I'm from. Been gone too long. Went through the corn, I miss that sweet summer song. Down in River Bottom is where I started. Been gone too long, made my stack time and again. Now I'm heading back to River Bottom. Heat wave shimmer on the road, dusty fields with silent pivots. Another man's dream, not mine. I can smell the river mud, summer swimming in the creek, late nights watching stars. Missouri's where I'm from. Been gone too long. Went through the corn, I miss that sweet summer song. Down in River Bottom is where I started. Been gone too long, made my stack time and again. Now I'm heading back to River Bottom. Cross the line, Missouri's here at last. Just a few short hours till I'm home. It's where it all started, but that's gone. What we built must rise again. Missouri's where I'm from. Been gone too long. Went through the corn, I miss that sweet summer song. Down in River Bottom is where I started. Been gone too long, made my stack time and again. Now I'm heading back to River Bottom. From the wreckage we must rebuild. Another's plight is our my return. It won't come easy, but home is home. Through sweat and toil we will rebuild, form a glory surpassed. New era shall begin. Missouri's where I'm from, but been gone too long. Wind through the corn, I miss that sweet summer song. Down in River Bottom is where I started. Been gone too long, made my stack time and again. Now I'm heading back to River Bottom. This is a new cattle ranch with 1,000 head, nothing less. We learn the ropes and know the tricks. We'll build it bigger, we'll build it better. The cattle ranch, no one's seen, except in my dreams, will come to life. Missouri's where I'm from, been gone too long. Went through the corn, I miss that sweet summer song. Down in River Bottom is where I started. Been gone too long, made my stack time and again. Now I'm heading back to River Bottom. Back to River Bottom. Home again.
Wanted to take you along for the ride to sell those remaining bulls, and then we picked up a load of calves to put into the ground beef pen as well. Thought it'd be a good view with the drone chasing the truck to see the new addition on the farm. Guys, I don't know what I was talking about earlier when I was saying we need to pick up a plow. We have a plow. It's right there. I saw it when I parked the truck when I got back. So had some lunch, got ready to go, and now we are just going to get plowing. This is going to be an exciting project. Got to sort of figure out exactly what it is, or exactly how we're going to, you know, set this up. But that's, you know, that's the beauty of farming. You can just sort of do what it is you want and you need. I don't know that we're square enough to get that connected. Let's see. Are we? Oh, we are. That is great news. Alrighty. Now let's make sure we get it picked up. And picked up, maybe? Oh, yeah. I bet I didn't do the lines. See if we can get in there. Yep, there they are hanging. This is always fun to sort of get down in the middle here and get everything going. Now, I bet now that there's some hydraulic power, I bet things go a lot better with lifting. And we are off. Nice and easy. Head out to the field. So, I'm thinking I'm going to use GPS. Try to create some relatively, you know, square-edged fields. I think I want some access going straight down here. So to my right, let's hop out and let's take a look at all this. I think I'm going to want a road or a path that goes, say, down here, sort of straight in front of me, along the back of the house, you know, and just allows us to get all the way down to the shed, all the way down to the cornfield, and what is going to be 2 fields here. So I think we need to leave a little bit of room. I think we actually are gonna sort of need to have access down there. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get unfolded here. We are going to, since we're using GPS, we're going to be here, I think. Let's get everything turned on so we can see what we're doing here. Let's get the GPS HUD turned on. There we go. So we're at 181 degrees. Yeah, we want to be right about there. And yeah, I think that's going to be what we want to do. lock on that, put the plow down, and we should, in this particular instance, just stay on this 180 line. That is our goal. And now you can see where there will be that access here across the back, be able to get stuff in and out. I think those trees are new since we owned the farm. I think we had gravel all the way up to the side and maybe kept the headers there, or maybe the headers were between the trees. I'm trying to remember. So we have this area over here, and I'm trying to figure out where, you know, where it is I want to pop out. So, because if we're going to do 2 fields, you know, this is what I want to do. This is all going to be 1 field. We'll probably include some of this area over here to the right as well. You never want to overdo it, but you don't want to leave any ground just sort of, you know, unused. So I think we're going to end up coming in like right to about here. And then, oh, we can't go to the right because then how would I get my access road down here, guys? That was silliness. Okay. So we're going to lift the plow. And then we're going to leave a gap between, this is going to be the beginning of our new field. So that's the gap. And this is still going to be the edge. We may put a field in over there too. We'll have to just see how all that turns out. Did make some good money on the bowl sales today, up to $176, almost $177,000. So was thrilled with that. We need to make $1 million to pay back our loan to then be able to make more money to buy more equipment without going into more debt. So, you know, $176,000 seems like a lot of money. It's really not. You know, we're not getting ahead at that rate. So now trying to figure out how far down we will go. So here's our cornfield. I think our road access, I think that's going to be perfect. We probably could have gone a little further over to what is now the left. But I think if we'd done that, we would regret that later. We're going to come down here, and I don't see any reason not to sort of maximize our plantable ground here. So let's back up and get squared up for the next pass. We're going to do a 90. Now remember, the river, the little drainage ditch, creek, whatever we're calling it, on that side of the field is absolutely at an angle. We're not going to have a square edge over there, but I do like to have square edges as much as possible. Okay, 90, that is 90 degrees, almost on the nose. We're going to pull up just the tiniest bit. Drop the plow. Then we're going to back up. Just, is it a hair? Do we have one little row right there? Yep, that is it. Okay, now we're going to lock in the GPS again. Going this way. And we should be able to get on that track. We are on the 90. And yeah, beautiful. That is working well. Look at that. Nice square edge. Using the GPS to create fields. Love that. I'm hoping that because we're using the GPS, that we will be able to do a couple of headlands and then put the field creation on GPS too. That would be really, really good. Now what's intriguing is it looks like we're fading a little bit away from the tree line here, and that's okay. Use some access at this end of the field to get turned around. And I think we will end up freehanding this edge. But we're not going to do that until we create the other edge of the field. You guys will see what I mean here in a minute. We're going to have to bring our edges over from where we divided the field so we know where we're connecting and where we're stopping and where the gap is between the two. So I think that's going to be adequate for now. We'll pick that up. And let's go find our top edge over here. And this is the sort of what I'm calling the side-by-side field. This first one we cut in will be grass for the animals. The second one will be, it could be a crop field, could be grass as well. But definitely gives us some options when it comes to, you know, how and what we have and where we work. I always like having a grass field by the yard, so that if we have to move equipment around, or if we're parking stuff and end up just off the gravel ever so slightly, we are not right into the crops. You know, having your corn right up against your barn, you know, it sure looks nice in the photos, but you know people are driving into it, and it's not. Right, so that should be the top edge there. And let's get that GPS locked. So this is going to be the top edge of this field, and then we'll come back and do the same thing on that one. And then we'll have our outlines fairly well done. We'll bring up that back edge. So we're just heading straight on across. Cleaning up nicely. A good January project for us. Nothing else really to do. Able to get in here and get these fields created, so as soon as the weather breaks in the spring, we can get stuff planted, and that will help us quite a bit. That meadow grass was fine for the first cut, and just in case we needed some backup food, but definitely not the quality of the feed that we're looking to keep our animals on. So I'm glad that we got this in progress. Alright, so this is going to come up over here, and I think we're going to stop right in this area, lift. Now let's go do the other edge. The good news is we have a nice stone picker and a lime production, so when we have these fields done, we can absolutely, you know, stone pick them and get that lime produced and have that ready to put down on it. So, nice to be a little bit self-sufficient here. Alrighty. And one more. Coming across. Grab that GPS path. Get that plow drop down. Alright, so this is going to be... Oh, we missed a spot. This is going to be this area between the fields and give us room to turn around, room to put in an access, room to get a cart in and out. You know, just because we put the grass down and we can drive on it doesn't mean necessarily that we should or want to. Obviously, it's better for the crop not to be driven on. So, giving ourselves some built-in access here is going to be critical for the long-term success and quality of the crop that we're producing, and I am excited for how this is turning out. You never know if the idea is a good one until you try it, and here we are, and I think it is going to work out just fine. Last little bit here to get the field on the right done will be to connect up that other edge. We'll come up here and do the same thing, and then we're going to have to bring this one around by the yard, which might be a little more involved, might be able to use GPS, may have to freehand. We'll just have to see how that goes. Alright, popping up on this edge. Field layout is always a bit of a process. And because we know we're going to be tracing this edge in along this creek over here, want to leave ourselves a little bit of leeway. And do we think that we want to spin this one? I think we do. I think we're going to get everything lined up, and then we're just going to turn relatively hard. So we're here. Plow's going to spin out just a little bit, hook that edge, sweep it up, All right, now we're just basically following this mowed edge from the field. But this is going to be a nice size field. The trailing edge over here by the creek is always going to drive me nuts. Always want that to be a cleaner edge. Don't like slow curving edges, but that is life. That's just the way it's going to work. But this is going to be it. We're going to have two very nice size fields, increasing our arable ground cover relatively significantly here, and most definitely increasing the quality of the crop we're going to get out of there as well. So we're going to come up here. We want to end this one relatively square. That's it. That's all she wrote. I like it, guys. There it is. This one, we're just going to hop on over here just a touch. Get lined up here. Drop it down. And line up with that back edge. And we just start angling. Beautiful. Like when a plan comes together. Let's get the rest of this outline done. That'll probably be it for today's episode. I will get the rest of it plowed up off camera, maybe even put it on a time lapse for you guys in the end. But going up and down with the old 12-meter plow, getting all this done, even if it works on GPS, is going to be a pretty substantial project for the afternoon. But lots of really exciting stuff going on here at the farm. The new pasture setup, the expanded adjusted pasture setup where we added the barn and the overflow pen is absolutely fantastic. Very excited for what that brings to us as far as opportunity and space and everything else. I can tell you, looking at the grass in the breeding pen, there are already, they're eating it down pretty quickly. We may need to rotationally graze them. We may need to mix some of our bulls into other pastures. We may have to figure it out. That middle breeding pen has always been small. That was the intent of it. It was never meant to be a big pen. Animals supposed to come in and come out. We could, in order to save some food, bring the young animals that are not quite ready to breed yet and put them into a different pasture and bring them over. It would definitely be adding a step, but that's not the end of the world to do that. All right, we have our course set. I think we're going to leave the top of this field square, guys. I could fade out a little bit towards the pasture, but I think we're going to want this space just to turn stuff around and be able to do the things we want to do. So I think this is it, and that is going to get us a really nice pair of fields out of this space. It's going to help align. Look at all that hay and all that straw. We are getting the cattle ranch put together. So I'll get the rest of this done, maybe even throw it on a time lapse at the end, or maybe at the beginning of next episode. You'll have to wait and see. But thank you guys so much for joining today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. Channel memberships are available if you'd like to support my content further, and channel members do get early access to upcoming videos, access to the members only portion of my Discord, including the members server and the members live stream if you're on PC. So from the River Bottom Cattle Ranch, the Realistic Cattle Ranch 2.0, that's all for this one, guys. I will see you in the next one.
Leaving Sunshine Forest, our work here is done. The dusty road calls my name. Homeward bound, let's chase the sun. Missouri's where I'm from.